Hello everyone, my name is Oksana. It's road to Edoverse Weekly Edoverse Insider 119th. We deliver the news about the creation of our project Edoverse. And I would like to invite Martin to open today's session. Hello.
Hello, Oksana. Hello, listeners. Hello, other panelists. Well, it's been a very busy news week, so I'm pleased that I've got so many things to talk about. First of all, we've got the Emperor of Japan who's visiting the UK and meeting with King Charles and the royal family, which is something that everyone in Japan and the UK really likes to talk about. You know, if you go to some UK news websites, so they have a special tab for the royal family, and you know, people are very avid royal watchers in the UK, and obviously in Japan there's a culture of observing the imperial family too. So that's been on the news a lot. A story that I spoke about a few weeks ago was the legislation that's targeting TikTok in America. And one of the interesting stories is that there's a US billionaire called Frank McCourt. He's most famous as owning the LA Dodgers and also Marseille, the French football team from the south of France. Emmanuel Macron is a fan of that club, so that's big news in France. So he has suggested that he might actually buy TikTok if that legislation goes through and a sale is forced. So maybe it will be saved, and we won't have this revolt among young people who just love their TikTok. So we will see about that one. Another fascinating story, over 200 million metric tons of rare metals have been found near an island called Minami Torishima, which is actually part of Tokyo, but it's in the Pacific Ocean. So there are some islands out there, most significant, the Ogasawara Islands. They used to be called the Bonin Islands. They are part of, politically, the Tokyo region and are governed by Tokyo. But that also has some fascinating history. And maybe Tokugawa-san has some insights about that. But it used to be occupied by pirates, a lot of them from the UK. And so there's actually a unique pidgin language on those two twin islands, the Ogasawara Islands, that were formerly known as Bonin, that's a mix of English and Japanese. So you can actually go on YouTube and listen to this strange pidgin language. It's bizarre and absolutely fascinating. So yes, if you fancy hearing some very weird pidgin English mixed in with Japanese, I think it's actually more Japanese than it is English these days. But there are, I think, 3 or 4 ancient people resident on those islands who still speak that dialect or pidgin language as it's become. So yes, anyway, 200 million metric tons of cobalt and nickel found near those islands. That's 75 years worth of nickel and 11 years worth of cobalt. So very happy discovery, and that's obviously going to be a boost for the Japanese economy in the long haul. The other story that I think is hilarious and fascinating is the Tokyo Metropolitan Government's plan to introduce a dating app, which is going to be similar to Tinder, but it's going to be run by the government. So the problem that a lot of women have on these dating apps is that men have bad intentions, and the ladies want to get married, the men don't. And so this government-run dating app is going to force men to sign a contract whereby they swear that they do actually want to get married. And then you have to, if you're going to list your income, you have to have certification to prove that that's the amount of money that you earn. They have to verify your ID and blah blah blah. So it's just going to kind of cut out the scammers. This idea has been widely panned because people who are into economics know that when the government tries to do something, usually it backfires horribly, and these things are much better run by private companies than they are by government. But there's an interesting article out in the Japan Times at the moment that says Tokyo government's Tinder is actually a good idea. Is the city's plan for a marriage dating app the solution to the country's low fertility? So yes, that's definitely worth the read. I think that's very funny. fortunately, as I'm married, I will not be needing the services of the government's Tinder. But obviously, you know, falling birth rates is a big issue for the government. It's always coming up. And it would be nice if we could have more young people in this country. So, yeah, fingers crossed it works out. So, yes, on that light-hearted note, Oksana, I will leave you for this week and hand you over so you can pass us on to the next guest.
Thank you very much, Martin. It's like such interesting start of this session. Thank you. I enjoyed your updates a lot, and yes, thank you very much. And Sarwaka, could you please join us? Hello.
Hi, ciao, everybody. How are you? From my side today, I don't have so much news. How can I say? As always, I would like to say, please don't forget to follow us on Edoverse Project on Instagram. This week, we're going to talk about, on the stories, we're going to talk about a little bit about the history of the Edo period. Last time we spoke about food, what kind of food they were eating that time. This time we're going to speak a little bit about like Edo story. So please don't forget to follow us. And as always, and grazie mille. Ciao.
Yes, thank you very much, Sarwaka. And Dominique, could you please sum up today's session? Hello.
Hey, thank you. Hello, everyone. We are now on a stage with the development of the free-to-earn game. So that is actually still just in a very secret mode, and we can just disclose much about things. But that's going to be the purely free-to-earn, the ones that you play the game that you can earn zenny, and then so you can just get back all the sort of value of the lands. So what it happened that actually in the future, probably I think in several months' time. So and the promotion will start from probably in September. But we just wait for a little while, and then actually our team of development is very, very busy. So so we cannot just talk much about things because it's still secrets. They're very confidential. So please wait for a little while, and then please just follow on Instagram as Sarawaka mentions. So enjoy Edoverse, and then we will have quite a big values in the future. At the same time, we are now just working on the security token, the real world assets. This is very, very interesting. And also that should be actually just planted into the Edoverse and 3D space in the future. So you can just get a value of a Zenny just in playing a game, but at the same time, so you can just convert just into that very valuable art NFT, that ST. So security token. So that's also, I think, another attractive and just activities in Edoverse in the future. So thank you very much, and then let's stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Dominique, and thank you everybody for speaking today, and listeners who are continue supporting us. And we will meet next week. Goodbye.